I have a theory. My theory is about moments of impact. My theory is that these moments of impact, these flashes of high intensity that completely turn our lives upside down, actually end up defining who we are. The thing is, each one of us is the sum total of every moment we've ever experienced with all of the people we've ever known. The vow. Over the last 4 years of my life, I have found this to be true. It is hard to describe 4 years of your life and what decisions, moments, and people led you to be the person you are today in one class presentation. That's what moments of impact are for, and I've narrowed mine down to 4 from my senior year that have impacted me forever. Number 1 would be cutting off negative ties. In my short 18 years of life, I'd like to say I've had it pretty good. I'm definitely an optimist. I surround myself with positive people, see the best in people, and this year I was lucky enough to find my career calling. The first step I took to get here was a difficult one, and that was cutting the negative people out of my life. First, I want to make it clear that cutting negative people out of your life does not mean that you hate them. It simply means that you love and respect yourself. Since 6th grade, I've been shipped back and forth from my grandma's house to my mom and stepdad's house for what felt like a million times. I was put in a situation that left my mom with a choice, daughter or husband. She chose husband and I chose happiness. Please don't ever think that you can't take control of your own life. August 1st was the day I officially moved out of my mom and stepdad's house, cutting all ties with them and into my current home. I have never been happier. Although it may seem like I've lost a family in the process, I remember the words, blood doesn't make a family, love does, which leads me to my next point. Number 2, people of impact. If you are wondering about my new home, I moved in with my amazing aunts Jessica and Stephanie and their daughter Haley. Words could never do justice for how thankful I am for them for taking me in, believing in me, and going out of their way to make sure I had everything I could possibly need and more. Stephanie and Jessica were patient with me, respected me, and loved me more than I know my own parents ever could have. As for Haley, I'm so glad that we became close this year. I'm so proud of her for her smart choices, accepting nature, and for giving me back the big sister and little sister nights I thought I would never get again this year. I'm not big on religion, but I know that if there is a higher power, they definitely bless me with them. Also, my big sister, grandma, and aunt who basically raised me. I'm forever thankful for my family, including my best friends, Gabrielle, Raya, Jamie, Jacob, Ashley, and Damo. I know that if you have one true friend, you're lucky, so I have to be extremely lucky. They taught me to always let my past make me better, not bitter. Number 3, accepting. Speaking of bitter, here comes my third moment of impact. One of my biggest fears is losing a sibling. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters who mean the absolute world to me. On June 26th this past summer, my 10-year-old little brother, Paul, was diagnosed with leukemia. Top of every other emotion I was feeling, boy was I bitter. I was bitter because my little brother should be going to football practice and hanging out with his friends, not chemotherapy. Bitter because while I was complaining about going to school, he was wishing he could. And bitter because he's only 10. But then, I decided that this disease is out of my hands. I can hope and I can pray and I can be there for him, but I'm lucky that he's alive. As of now, he's still fighting cancer, but cancer does not define him and I won't let it define me. He has the best support system in the world and I have become more aware, compassionate, and mature throughout this experience. I know that things could always be worse, so with that being said, I'm so happy with the life that I have. And number 4, thank you. While this year has been one of the best and most eye-opening years of my life, there are still things that upset me. With happiness comes sacrifice. Since I've moved out of my mom and stepdad's house, they've kept me from seeing my brother and sister, Trent and Hannah. I miss them every single second of every day, and I can only imagine how much they've grown without me. On days that it's getting to me, you would never know, and for that, I have best buddies to thank. I first joined the program mostly because I wanted to make a difference in the students' lives who have intellectual disabilities. Little did I know of the huge impact they would have on my own life. I am so beyond blessed to be greeted every morning with lots of hugs and smiling faces. I will never be able to repay them for not only changing my perspective on life, but for changing me as a person, and filling a place in my heart I never even knew was empty. I know now that there is nothing I would rather do than spend the rest of my life working in special education. I now have the best friends ever, a career path, and an extended family. Through the highs and the lows, there is no other way, with no other people, that I would have rather spent my senior year. I really do hope that all of you found happiness, appreciate everything and everyone in your life, never just settle, and always respect yourselves. Goodbye, class of 2015, and thank you for all of the memories.
We all started yelling when we smelled the beach. Couldn't wait to try our fake IDs. We only had a few days and a whole lot of memories to make. Oh man, we were living, didn't waste 1 minute.